জলবায়ু পরিবর্তন বলতে মানে এই বৃষ্টি, এই খরা, হঠাৎ বন্যা, এইসবই তো আমি জলবায়ু পরিবর্তন সম্পর্কে বুঝি। এই বৃষ্টি, খরা মানে শিল্প কারখানার জন্য এটা হয়। শিল্প কারখানার ধোঁয়া যখন বায়ুমণ্ডলে প্রবেশ করে তখন এই বৃষ্টি, এই খরা মানে এইসব দেখা দেয়।
The climate crisis is not only urgent and severe, it is also deeply unfair. Depending on where you live, what you do, and your status in society, the consequences of climate change might affect you in very different ways. Bangladesh is one of the worst climate-affected countries in the world. The severe weather, cyclones, and heavy rainfalls indicate a daily struggle for most of the 170 million people living here, especially for the large number of households that are depending on agriculture as their primary source of income. The district of Patuakhali, located in the south of the country, is one of the regions where the poverty level for many years has been increasing together with climate change. This has made an already fragile situation even more difficult.
পানির কারণে ওই আমার কৃষি সব নষ্ট হয়ে গেছে। আমি ওই কিস্তি পরিশোধ করব তো দূরের কথা, গুরুগারে লেখাপড়া করা আমি দূরের কথা, নিজে ওই যে ঋণ পরিশোধ করব এরকম কোনো তৌফিক আমার দ্বারা ছিল না। তাই আমি ঋণ পরিশোধ করতে পারি নাই। ঋণ পরিশোধ করব দূরের কথা, আর আস্তে আস্তে বৃদ্ধি হয়েছে।
Many farmers are going into debt due to climate change. Erratic weather and unpredictable seasons have made their livelihood a daily struggle, and the hope of finding sustainable income is drowning in an increasing number of floods.
এই জলবায়ু পরিবর্তনের ফলে আমাদের বাসাবাড়িতে পানি ওঠে, ফলে আমার আম্মু ফসল মানে শাকসবজি লাগাতে পারে না। রাস্তাঘাটে পানি ওঠে, ডুবে যায়, ফলে আমরা বিদ্যালয়ে যেতে পারিনি, এরকমের সমস্যা হয়।
Students face several problems because of climate change, and it's getting worse year by year. Especially girls tend to be taken out of school, and in the long run, limited access to education makes girls and women more vulnerable during disasters. But that's not the end of the story. It's a continuous cycle. For instance, the shifting climate patterns can even contribute to an increase in child marriages.
আমার বাবা একজন কৃষক। আবহাওয়া ও জলবায়ু পরিবর্তনের ফলে আমাদের কৃষি জমিগুলোতে কৃষি ফসল উৎপাদন করা সম্ভব হচ্ছে না। এর ফলে আমাদের সংসারে অভাব অনটনের দেখা দেয়। তাই আমার বাবা আমাদের দুই বোনের বাল্যবিবাহ দেওয়ার সিদ্ধান্ত নেন।
But not only agricultural problems, education or child marriage is an issue. The people here also face severe health issues. Exposure to contaminated floodwaters and lack of proper hygiene and sanitation facilities make them suffer from sexual reproductive health diseases, skin diseases, and several other deadly diseases.
লবণাক্ততা পানির কারণে আমার এবং আমার পাশের গ্রামের বা আমাদের পরিবারের সকলের চর্মরোগ দেখা গেছে।
ঋতুকালের সময়ও কাপড় চোপড় ধুয়ে ব্যবহার করণে ওগুলা জরইলে ক্যান্সার, বিসি বেচরা, খোস বেচরা ও মেয়েদের জনসংস্থাও কমে যায়, অনেক রোগ ব্যাধি দেখা দেয়।
Even though adaptation is essential for survival, families cannot adjust inevitably. It's imperative that we can change the way we live, consume, and set priorities, and those who are accountable must be in the forefront. Governments, decision makers, and private companies are in charge of and accountable for the significant emissions that, as we all know, seriously damage our planet.
যখন বাংলাদেশ অ্যাকশনেট এই সম্পর্কে জানতে পারলো যে আমরা ঋণগ্রস্তের ফলে ঢাকা গিয়েছি, তখন তারা চেয়ারম্যানের সাথে কথা বলে, তারপর শিক্ষক শিক্ষিকার সাথে কথা বলে আমাদের ঢাকা থেকে গ্রামের বাড়িতে আনার ব্যবস্থা করে।
Girls and women are not only being hit disproportionately hard. Women also have an important role in identifying solutions and prepare their communities to climate-related disasters.
You know, Bangladesh is one of the most vulnerable countries, and it's constantly being affected by the intensity and repeated disasters. Now, women in any disaster are the first responders, and Action Aid believes that women leadership in humanitarian response is critical. What we found was a little bit of training, giving them the right kind of information and exposing them to alternative farming was critical to help them adapt. However, here is where we get very upset and angry, is we keep adapting. The women, the girls, the community is adapting. They are pushed in a situation where they have to leave their land, they leave their homes, they are being displaced, they become climate immigrants and they go into the city, and if they can't survive in the city, they will go somewhere else. It's an existentialist question. And what we want to say is the rest of the world has to stop this dependency on fossil fuel. It's the fossil fuel which is creating the emissions, and we know that, all forms, and methane emission. So this has to stop. It can't be that we will keep adapting and the rest of the world, especially developed world, will keep emitting. This has got to stop. And then only we will see how the women, the girls, our communities, the most vulnerable communities have managed to change their lives. But they can't keep doing it unless all of us act together.
Millions of families are facing increasing problems and challenges due to climate change, and the situation is getting worse. These families have done the least to cause the crisis we are in, but still, they are the ones paying the price. ActionAid is working all over the world to make lives better in the affected areas, but support and collective actions are crucial to make a sustainable impact. It's time we all take action for the girls, women, and families that are worst affected by this crisis that they did nothing to cause. They struggle every day to find solutions for themselves and future generations. What can you do? As a politician, as a professional, or even as an individual, we should all act responsibly from our respective positions. But what we cannot do is wait. It is time to act now.